Hello and welcome to my channel, Astro Cheryl. Now, this is your astrological forecast for March 2026. And welcome. Now, before I get into the forecast, I want to speak about the parade of planets that are aligning on the 28th of February in the evening between 8 and 9. They will all be visible. And this is connected to a reset within each and every one of us. However, some of you who are not awakened may not feel it as deeply as those who are on their journey and that are walking with intention. Okay, and the 6 planets are Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune. Okay, so with this massive reset happening, we're starting to see signs of it on a global level. We're looking at the U.S. and Iran, the U.S. and Israel invading Iran and Tehran. We're also seeing that the Russians, the Chinese, North Koreans, and Cuba are all starting to get involved, even the UK. Okay, so this is massive. And to, create a third world war is not in our best interests for the U.S. Okay, and it's in nobody's best interest. But this is some of what we are seeing unfolding at this present moment. Now, we also have a total lunar eclipse that is occurring in March, early March, and this will have an effect on us. It's a 2-year cycle that's it's waking up, and this is karmic energy, and it's happening in the sign of Virgo. So with this total eclipse energy, there is a lot that we are having to face going forward. So let me just get into a little bit of this full moon and lunar eclipse. Okay, so it's going to be happening on the 3rd, and they call it a worm full moon. But with this total eclipse coinciding with it, it becomes a blood moon, and it'll be 82 minutes, and we will be able to see the color blood moon on the 3rd. And we won't have another total lunar eclipse until New Year's Eve of 2028. Okay? So with this being in the sign of Virgo, this lunar eclipse is exposing the truth. Okay? Virgo, it doesn't create chaos. It diagnoses it with precision, because Virgo is all about the boxes and perfectionism. Virgo rules our habits, how we organize, our discipline, our health, our daily routine, and our self-criticism, and our perfection patterns. Okay? So this lunar eclipse exposes what we've been tolerating, okay, just going along with, such as where we are overgiving, overthinking, where we have been ignoring our body, where we have been staying out of obligation, and where our standards have quietly lowered. This lunar eclipse is activated on the karmic axis of the Pisces North Node and Virgo South Node at this time. And these nodes happen every 18 months. So we're at the end of the North and South Node in Pisces and Virgo. So come July, we'll be in Aquarius North Node and Leo South Node. Okay? So these nodes represent past karma, unfinished lessons, emotional patterns, and contracts, and cycles that repeat until they are corrected. Okay? So this is the big reset for humanity that is occurring now, because once we get into this total lunar eclipse, we'll be different people. Okay? You may not notice it right away, but it'll take a year before we start seeing the difference from where we are now to where we will be when we get there. Okay, so I'm not going to talk a lot about the whole month forecast, because this total lunar eclipse and this full moon and this new moon that's coming on the 18th is holding a whole lot of energy, and we need to talk about that and be aware of it so that we can act accordingly. But you know, with Pisces involved, it's about going with the flow, and we will talk about each sign as I go forward. So I'll see you on the other side. Hello to my beautiful Taurus risings out there. Welcome to my channel, Astro, and this is your monthly forecast for March 2026. Okay, take a look at the introduction. There's a lot of food for thought there for you, Taurus risings, because here I'm just going to get into the forecast, and it's going to be short this month because there is a lot of energy that is magnified, okay? And I don't want to overwhelm any of you with all of the other aspects that are happening during this month, because this concentrated energy is enough, okay, for you to process. I know it's enough for me to process. Okay, so we're going to start with Mars entering Pisces at 0 degrees in your 11th house, and this happens on the 2nd of March, okay? And there's a lot of Pisces transformative energy that is happening in this month of March, and it is concentrated. So I want you to get the best from it that you can, because we are all processing this energy as we, wake up every day and go to sleep at night. Okay, so the 11th house is about your hopes and wishes, your large organizations that you're a part of, group memberships, some of your friendship zones through work and other areas of your life as well. Okay, so with this being in your 11th house at 0 degrees, it's like a new beginning that's happening. So, this is the beginning of an energetic, emotionally driven push around your friend groups and long term goals. Okay, this is a fresh 2 year action cycle in how you participate in your communities, your organizations, and social media or audience type spaces. Okay? Your actions are guided by your intuition because of Pisces energy here, empathy, and ideas rather than your straight logic, okay? Because Mars is more logical, but Pisces is more intuitive. So your actions are, you are more willing to actively chase your hopes and wishes. You may now act on your dreams, spiritual aims, or compassionate causes as well. Okay, so this energy softens you up in this area of life, Taurus rising. Just be aware of the fogginess that Pisces brings and the overdoing, giving, or being with other people. So you have to make sure that you clarify your boundaries. Okay, just be clear about it because this energy will take you out of your space. All right, so on the 3rd, we have a full moon in Virgo, and this is at 12 degrees, and there is a total lunar eclipse that coincides with this full moon. This full moon is a worm moon, and the total lunar eclipse is a blood moon. Okay, so it's going to turn red, and it's going to be visible for us in the Americas, in Asia. Let's see, what other areas? East Asia and Australia. So it's the Americas, East Asia, and Australia is where it will be visible. Okay? So you can go out and take a look at it when this happens on the 3rd. All right? So this is happening in your 5th house, though. And the 5th house is your house of creativity, your hobbies, romance, your inner child, and children as well. Okay? So, with this lunar eclipse, it's about a reset. Okay? It's about clearing or exposing patterns of creating, flirting, or parenting in ways designed to invalidate you rather than coming from a place of authentic pleasure and heart. So just know that you don't have to, well, it's just time for you to get out of trying to please others. Okay, your emotions are amplified due to this total lunar eclipse, and you can expect strong reactions, nostalgia, or sudden clarity about what really makes you happy versus what looks good on paper. Okay, your karmic clearing stories may show up as not being good enough, creatively, I'm sorry, romantically, or as a parent or mentor. So you can show up more honestly and playfully. All right? So this is part of the clearing with this lunar eclipse, and it'll take about a year for you to recognize the difference, but this reset is here, and it is going to change us all on one level or another. Just depends on, your evolutionary process. Now, on the 8th, we have retrograde Mercury in Pisces, and that's happening in your 11th house. So, this is a time where you want to, again, focus on your boundaries and be careful of how you present yourself, with your verbal communication, with your body, what your body is saying to you, how people see you, because this retrograde is always about revisiting, reviewing. So there might be some past relationships in your 11th house that you may have to readdress, okay? But just make sure that you are careful in how you react, okay? And again, this clearing is happening in your 11th house, and this Mercury retrograde is going to help you recognize how you see yourself within the group dynamic. Okay, so the last thing is the new moon that happens on March 18th, and it's in the sign of Pisces at the critical degree of 28 degrees, and this is happening in your 11th house. Now, what's interesting here is that we have, do we have that 0 degrees in that house? We have Mars at 0 degrees in your 11th house, creating this new energy. And then we have the new moon at this critical degree in your 11th house, okay? So this is like a completion period with this new moon. And with this anaretic degree, it emphasizes completion, okay, spiritual surrender, and intuitive new beginnings as well. It holds karmic weight and urges you to release illusions before the Aries season. Okay, this is a time to plant your intentions for compassionate networks, visionary projects, or collective healing. Connect with intuitive allies who support your long-term goals and wishes, or hopes and wishes. Expect subtle shifts in your community roles, favoring inclusive, other people, imaginative pursuits over your rigid plans, okay? Because in Pisces, you're more intuitive, and your rational mind is not taking shape here, because there's a lot of Pisces energy that is happening for all of us somewhere in our chart. And this is a time that we have to, face karma, okay, and create those new beginnings that we want to have going forward. Okay, so I may not have said it, but this is a short forecast because we have a lot of concentrated energy in the sign of Pisces, and I just want to make sure that I don't create overwhelm, because a lot of us will experience the energy in one way or another. Some will just think it's just surface, but those of us who are on our journey and setting our intentions will feel this change deeply. I know I am. And this is part of why I'm only doing this much, because it's really a growth period for me to go through all these charts and look at all of the information that is happening. It's hard for me, but I get through it, and all of it is life changing. So there we have it. And Taurus rising, this is your forecast for March 2026. And until next time, bye for now.